The past, the present, the future. This is Friday Night's Fright. What the planet is listening to.
Coming to you again from sunny Orlando at 7 something in the morning. This is your Friday Night Fright kickoff show for It's Halloween, and in a nice twist of serendipitous fate, this is also my last day in Florida before I go back home. So it's like the end of two eras. I'm sat by jacuzzi and I am completely and utterly knackered, which helps to give the illusion that I'm doing this just after It's Halloween 2 has ended. This is not going to be a long kickoff show, folks. I don't have the energy for it, but wow, another year, another podcast special. The second It's Halloween we've done, and what a terrible movie that was in every possible regard. I can't say enough bad things about It's Halloween, about Halloween 2. It's Halloween is great because it's performed by me, the maestro of Macabre. But in general, the Halloween 2 movie was not very good at all. And isn't a shiny barrel of wizardry. But maybe I should spend this sort of kickoff show talking about my stay in Orlando, or maybe I should make it more podcast centric. I don't know. Right, said I'm right by jacuzzi. I'm just gonna put my feet in. Oh my god, that's so warm. Oh, what a trip, what a year, what an era for Friday Night Fright. You know, you start these podcasts and you're knackered and tired and say you'll do 5 episodes, and then a year plus later you get 10 people listening to an episode on average, and you get to come sunny Orlando, Florida. Orlando is obviously tangibly connected to podcasts. Podcasters make me enough money to come here. That's all sorted through other means. But it's been crazy few weeks, crazy period in Friday Night Fright HQ, if you will. And as I sit looking at the orange hue of a Florida sunset, all I can think of is, where to from here? But then obviously I've answered that question because I've all heard me talk about the things that are coming up on the podcast. I don't have any more stuff like that for you. Halloween 2 was trouble enough. I guess we just wax lyrical about life for a while in a very vague way as I sit in a hot tub in Florida. You know, it's weird and stuff that's emerged since this podcast has come about, you know? Like, wrestling's gotten more popular in a way. I'm happier now, which is good, you know. God bless Scientology. And in general, I just sometimes feel like this podcast is a bit of a struggle to get through, and I feel the same way recording it. But you know, what can you do? You just gotta look back on things with a rosy tint in your eye, with a certain amount of negativity and constructive critical and analysts too. Is the podcast what I hoped it would be? I don't know. I'm very tired. It's beyond what I expected it to be, but is it at a level I want it to be? Well, that's the difficult part when you get past a year, really. You start thinking, does this podcast need more? Can I put more into it? Am I putting enough into it? And the answer is probably not, because there's lots of stuff in my life I'd rather put time into, to be honest. The podcast will always get a new episode every week. Indeed, despite the fact that I haven't started yet, I've got to compile tomorrow's episode very, very soon, which airs in less than 24 hours from when you'll be hearing this. But really, I mean, I feel lucky. I do feel lucky. I feel like a guy who's, you know, succeeded this year beyond his wildest dreams, but at the cost of my what remains of my sanity. No, I'm joking. It's creating informed entertainment on a week basis is very tough, but you know, that's neither here nor there, because what we really need to do is start thinking about the future, and the future next year is It's Halloween 3, which I promise will be best ever. If one be serious for a second, I feel technically this was better than It's Halloween 1. I'm much better at making podcasts now. You might not come across in quality standpoint, but in terms of doing them, I can do them easier, I find, than I could in the past. I'm doing from hot tubbing and a jacuzzi in Florida, so, you know, international style. And generally, my health is a lot better nowadays than it was back in the past. You know, I used to suffer from kidney stones. feel ashamed saying that. And I don't feel doing more. I'm still getting used to living a normal, progressive life, which is obviously a unique thing. But I'm getting there, you know. I feel it's better than having ages. And I feel like this podcast needs a few more storylines. I'm shooting here, for lack of a better term. You know, Mabel 1 is progressing. You know, I know people don't always like storylines. I know people sometimes feel they impede on the creative process. You just want to hear reviews of stuff, and we hear reviews of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I'm by nature a writer, and I like, you know, writing stuff and things. As you well aware, as you hear my brilliant scripts on a semi-weekly basis. But really, we're all creators, and don't get me wrong, I love creating podcasts. I love manic drill of, oh no, a new episode needs to go up every week. I know we can do Show Mania, that's not the case, but you get a whole month of content, so you still get your episodes every Friday. But really, what do I want to achieve for the next year from the podcast? Honestly, I want to make it better. That's what I want to achieve. I'm going to try and devote more time. I'm going to do batch episodes, I think. So one Saturday a month, I'm going to do like a month's worth of episodes in one go. I know it's going to be quite a struggle, but I think that taping thing works better. Although I kind of like mad rush to get them done on the day. And what would I be critical about with regards to this Halloween 2? I didn't have a mic with me, so I don't know if it sounds perfect. I don't know, it's got to feel a weird thing, because sometimes I feel like I should watch these movies before I do the commentaries on them, but then I think you miss out on the improvised ranting. You know, I don't know necessarily how this movie's going to go. You know, and also I feel like the disorganised part of this podcast is sort of the unique part. I view it as a sort of XP of Saturday Night Live-ish way. Saturday Night Live meets the Eric Andre show, where it's a bit slapdash, but it feels better because of that. I think if it gets too polished, I think it's going to lose the appeal it has, and not necessarily has a large appeal, but you know what I mean, with some of you doing it. And I really went over the future Friday Night Fright. You're going to get more limitless reviews, you can get more reviews in general, you're going to get shorter reviews, I think, on a semi-regular basis. YouTube's still a thing I want to get to. I need more thought, though. I think when you go video, you need a lot more thought. I got the more commentaries I'm going to be doing, because I like doing those, and I think the general sort of random commentaries have less pressure on them. Other thing I like is Halloween Special and Nightmare on Elm Street, or whatever it's called, Nightmare Christmas Street, or whatever. I can't remember what it's called in Show Mania. There's a bit more pressure for those ones, you know, because you want to get those right. But in general, I'm really happy with this podcast. I feel like it's doing a good job, and feel like we've finished this Halloween 2. That's awesome. So to recap, there's going to be more stuff coming up soon. Going to be more content in general. You know, just got to get through this next couple of days. You know, and then they'll go. Thanks to everyone for listening. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's one person or a million people. The fact that anyone listens to this warms my heart. And so from Florida, this is in Austin saying, so long. Remember, we fry on Friday night, y'all. And also remember, life is beautiful. I'll see you in tomorrow's new episode.